beginning is a very delicate time.
Hey, my name is Laszlo. This is my first devlog about a game I am solo developing now. The first video serves as an introduction to the project, as it is not just my dream game, but also a technology experiment. Yes, I am referring to the large language models such as Claude and ChatGPT and Bezi, of course. When this idea came to my mind about a year ago, I was wondering whether it is possible to create a game alone with a low budget, but of a high quality, I mean nearly AAA quality, in a certain genre with these tools. The game is a TCG game on the Dune topic based on the novels Frank Herbert. First of all, I fell in love with the story in my childhood, and I believe I read the original books more than 3 times in my life. My favorite ones maybe more. These are the most underrated ones, starting with the God Emperor and Heretics and Chapter House. But of course, every story has a beginning, and in that case, a game like this should start with the first book. I always hear from railing the developers on YouTube not to start with your dream game because you just haven't got the experience for this. I believe, in general, this is a very wise advice, but I thought there could be exceptions, and I always loved experimenting, so why not? Before I started this project, I never seen C# or even Unity, but I have also built complex IT projects in the last couple of years, and I have coding experience. I have a lack design or composing skill as well, but I wanted to use the modern LLM tools as much as I can. Moreover, every project, game or producer is different, so I try to counterbalance my weak points by choosing a genre that aligns better with my skill set. If you want to take a project like this, it's important to be realistic about your skills, because they should heavily influence the genre and the scope you choose. So for now, the actual status is that there are around 100 cards neutral, Harkonnen and Atreides, and of course a lot of smaller factions. Only the Harkonnen and Atreides are playable. The Fremens and Corrinos as playables are missing for now. I wanted to see first if the prototype with the 2 houses is working well. The cards already have graphics because in this genre these help the users to recognize the cards. Most of them are generated by LLM systems and then manually edited, and a few were created by me. I'm pretty much satisfied with the overall lookalike, but obviously it would be better to use some designer work, but at this very stage of the game development, I don't think there is any sense in it. The card backs and the fronts are not generated, but I work with a designer on Fiverr. He is now working on the game UI. That will be in the next video with a comprehensive breakdown of the costs and the work until now. Something about the Fiverr and the other platforms like this. I have left a feedback on the designer page after the first task. Then we started a new task a few weeks ago. A couple of days later, a person with the same name wrote me on Discord a general message that, hey, Happy New Year. I wanted to ask you if you need anything with your project and so on and so on. I have the same user name on Fiverr and Discord. It was a bit strange. This part should be a red flag, but I've sent back a message that, hey, nothing else, just finish the actual task, and sent my feedback for the first images. Then, a day later, the designer guy on Fiverr sent me a message that, hey, what's up? Is the first sprites looks nice or not, because you did not say anything about them. From here, we realized pretty fast that someone tried to scam me. I have to be super honest, if we are not on an actual task with the designer guy, I would have fallen into this trap. And in this case, of course, the red flag would not have been a red flag. I was this time very lucky. So be extremely careful, guys, about not authorized communication channels if you work on platforms like this. Here you can see that the design is absolutely not matching with the cards. This is because I bought a TCG asset when the development was started. This asset speed up the development a lot. I can manage cards and basic settings easily, and it provides a ready-made game and menu UI. It has its own learning curve, but it also saved me from building everything from scratches. Here you can see how the version 1 card looks like. This will change a bit in the next video. On the right side here is a sandworm. This symbolizes that the card is unique. Without the worm, the card is normal. And in your deck, there can be only 2 cards from normal cards and 1 from each unique one. On the left side, you can see the cost of the card. This small icon, which is blue in the mouth of the sandworm, this is the rarity icon. Here is the name of the card, and then the factions will be here, like Atreides and Bene Gesserit and so on. In this case, Duke is a very special tag. Some of the cards will be effect on noble person only. There are 2 types of skills for the cards. One is a quite unique, which is like text is here, and another one is a formalized skill. It will be also here later, but for now it's mostly icons, because a lot of characters have got the same, and it was easier to show it an icon. For example, this one, this small topter, is symbolizing that fly and can skip taunt. Here you can see the attack of the card and the HP of the card, and the small icon, this will change in the next version, symbolize the leveling. Let's talk about a bit more about leveling in this game. You can see, for example, this character can level up other non-unique characters on the board when we deploy it. So leveling is very interesting, because when you add +1 level to a character, the character level number is raising, and also they immediately receive 1 attack and 1 HP. And moreover, characters and some intrigues also has got special level based skill. For example, Leto on the level 4 will get a skill named Revenge. But there is different kind of levels in the game. One is the level cap, which is in the collection. So here in the collection we can see the level cap. This is the maximum level cap of our character. And when we are going to the play and start leveling up the characters, this is the actual level. And the actual level can be anything. Even if its level cap is like 3, you can bring up in a game Duke Leto Atreides to level 8, doesn't matter, it's up to you. If you can make it, you will do it. He will receive all the attacks and HP from this leveling. But this Revenge, then he needs level 4 cap in the collection. I hope this makes sense. I will show later. I wanted to represent with this leveling how the characters are growing based on the books and in the story. So the later skills are mostly trying to make some connection with the books also. This is how the battleground for now looks like. This will change in the next 2 weeks. Why I want to show this, because every house for now, the Harkonnen and for the Atreides, have a hero skill you can use from here and choose one. So for the Harkonnen's skill, which is increase the skill of building with 1, and another skill for Atreides is like healing is Harkonnen to make a damage. What is this building stuff here? Every house has 3 buildings for now. This is the barrack, the turret, and the harvester, or the silos, how you want to name them. And why is it important? If you have a silo or harvester more than level 1, you can bring unused spice resources for the next turn. The barracks on level 1 generating on start of your all turns 1 infantry, it's an Atreides, and on the other side Harkonnen infantry. There are 8 slots for the games, but maybe it will be later 7 only. By leveling up the barracks, your generated infantries can get more skills and some other stats, like for example the Atreides infantry receive on the 2nd level taunt, and the Harkonnen infantry receive fast skills, and later they just get some extra stats. Also here are the turrets. Turrets are making a very interesting way of defense. It's defending your palace, it's not defending your troops. So if anyone is trying to hit your palace, your character, so your HP, which is obviously the main goal of the game, to kill the enemy, your opponent. So if you try to hit the opponent, then the turret automatically hit your attackers. And it depends on how big is the turret. Every building has got now a level 3 limit. And on level 3, the turret can damage 3 per shot and 4 times per turn. So you have to count about it, that's how you can hit the opponent without destroying your very valuable leveled up characters. One more question maybe, are there any verbs in the game? Yes, they are already programmed in, working, but I'd like to only show them when the animation will be reached the level I really enjoy. And maybe one more thing, that later on the Fremens will be a bit different, because the Fremen generated characters will be much stronger. In exchange, they will not have barrack, so they cannot be able to give them more levels and stats and anything else, but they will have a different building. I believe it will be a wind trap. Okay, let's check how the game look like for now. So as you can see, for example, Paul Atreides, he start in hand. Of course, we can replace it. In this case, he will goes back to the deck, but now I'm just okay with this. This we no need, and this is also no need. Let's check the others. Yeah, the design will be changed in the next week. For now, it's like a placeholder. We are starting, as you can see, we got the first infantry, but of course we cannot do anything because it's on the sleep mode. First I will just level up the barrack because I want better infantries early on. As you can see here, yes, there are some glitches with the positioning, but here you can see the icon, it's a taunting character because of the level up, and we have 3 resources, so I will choose Paul, and Paul will show that 2 random cards from the opponent hand. So they have, the Harkonnen has Lady Margot and Count Hashimir Ferring. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, he just had the sleep with Lady Margot disabled for 2 turns on my infantry. Okay. I will try to bring up to the next turn one more extra resources. Okay, we have 6. Oh, we need to wait one more turn. Okay. Then I will need a bigger as you can see, it's already level 3 because of the barrack, so it's a 2/2. Take control of enemy for this turn. Okay. We cannot make it because he is deaf and voice command is a Bene Gesserit skill. Great. They are done. And we can bring up 2 spice resources for the next turn. Oh, Vladimir Harkonnen, he just took one of my character. This one. This is a very good card. Limit 1 per game. Maybe I will use it right now. As you can see, because of this Choam CEO, I got double cards on the start. Reveal hidden, because Hashimir Faring is a very, very powerful character. For the next intrigue, what he will play, we will counter it, and how we stall this card, which is the Shaddam's plan. Here you can see it's just the disguised Sardaukar battalions game, so we can try to kill the opponent with them. +1 level for the non-unique characters. That's great. We leveled up them. Oh yes, I forgot that it's not yet visible with the animation that he has a shield, and with the shield you can only get 1 damage anytime, so unfortunately it's not the best for us to attack him. We can heal this character. And yeah, that was the end of my turn. This was the turret boss, Surdis also, so the turret is working very well. And what we can do from here, that you can see that if all the characters we have, sometimes the AI is stuck in, I need to investigate this situation. So with all these characters here, we can directly attack the user. We will survive the turret, which is only on level 1. So probably the next turn we can change the balance here. So let's check a play. Pole is always starting in the hand. That's good for leveling a character. It's a nice card for later. We started the turn. As you can see that here is our first infantry, and we will just add the level for the next infantries with the barrack, because in this case we will get towns. Here is the icon which shows that it's a taunter character, and we can start with a ball. So the opponent has a House War Master, which can remove a secret, and Vladimir Harkonnen, which is problematic because he has a shield. It's not visible for now, it's no any animation for it, but he has. Okay. Okay, I was not counting with this one. Trying to bring more resources for the next turn. Maybe this will help us to make something bigger move. Okay. And So we have 7. Chom CEO. If we survive the next turn, this can be helpful. It's plus spice protection and double cards on the start. It's only once per game we can use it. Oh, I was not expecting this one. And also Faderad is very strong like this. Okay, let's call this strike. Of course the situation is not the best, but let's check. Oh, he got a weapon. It's pretty ugly, the icon, but in the next version will be better. Suffo. Counter. Oh, it's 3 resources. I have mixed. Yes, the turret will help. Oh, I trade a signet ring. That's a bug, which I need to find out. Okay. And just try to push everything on the defense because we are not in a good situation. Oh, with this I guess it's over. The next turn, Shaddam's plan is the Sardaukars. Okay. Actually, it's over because we cannot win the game. Check the next one. Let me know your thoughts, share with me down below in the comment section. The turret and the building mechanism is, on the one hand, a game mechanic that is important because of various reasons, and on the other hand, this is some kind of tribute to the Dune 2 Wedding of a Dynasty, one of the first video games I loved so much. Have you ever thought that the Dune 2 is technically the father of all RTS games? Yes, even the first Warcraft was copied based on this. So finally it built a dynasty. Not his own, but at least founded one. So in this TCG Dune version there are buildings. You can ask, of course, why not an RTS? First, I never really liked the genre, except for the Dune games and maybe the Blizzard ones, but mostly because I like this kind of approach to strategy more. So when I decided to start this project, I was sure that I needed to find an approach that is possible as an indie dev, with a low budget, highly strategic, and which is very important, not built on reflexes. It's just a physiological fact that with ages we are slowing down. So if I wanted to make something that can be competitive later, it should not be based on our reflexes, but on our brains. If you read the books, I believe the Plan Within Plans matches with this. I was thinking about other collectible games like SVGO or Marvel Strike Force, but if you think about it, those are much more design and VFX heavy games, so it's not a good match with my skill set and opportunities. While visuals are important, TCGs are primarily a genre driven by creativity and strategic balance. Once a solid visual baseline is reached, the overall player experience is far less dependent on graphics. If we are talking about TCG as a genre, we have to talk about the luck. I guess all of you know the iconic Hearthstone, made about a decade ago, and still one of the best on the market. In my eyes, Hearthstone is a great game, but also a game of luck, like a party game. Here I wanted to exclude the luck as much as I can. The card drawing is enough factor as luck. Let's talk about the AI. I am expecting some kind of hate online from the fan community because I am open to LLMs and also want to show as an experiment for anyone else what you can make with these modern tools. So let me share some thoughts about this. First, some of you might never want to try a game that contains LLM-generated content, and that is okay, I can respect it. But I believe we can never really know how much LLM-generated content is in a game. Even if an honest indie developer says that's zero, how can they be sure, how can they guarantee that all of the assets are free from AI? Moreover, I believe that our world is going towards another direction, whether we like it or not. We can protest, but I believe neither the studios nor the world will care. This is a technological tool set we can skip or use. I just decided to use it because this is the way we evolve. Second, in the Dune niche, there is a question about the AI and the thinking machines that always comes up. If I want to be funny, I would say there are not the droids you are looking for. The LLM systems are not thinking at all, don't understand us. These are only pattern recognition machines for now. A serious answer comes later. By the way, can anyone tell me any technologies that mankind ever decided not to use because of their danger? You can say cloning maybe, but there are some news from time to time still on the internet, so I have doubts. We can be certain that humanity will travel through this road. We can only decide adapt or not. You can say that still an evil act to take a lot of jobs from graphic designers, music composers with the LLM support in this TCG project, but really, I mean, I never had the budget to invest in this project, build a small team with designers, music composers, animators, professional developers. So if we are waiting until I or any of us has the budget for this, then we can wait forever. Most of us who never shipped any game yet, this is the way we can start this journey. The LLM systems grant us extra time with shortcuts and of course with disadvantages we have to deal with. If we stick to the idea, a lot of projects will never be a reality. Finally, I also follow a few indie game devs on YouTube, so I've seen that all of them don't like to use AI for graphics and music, but for code, no, it's pretty much okay. I cannot agree with this. In my eyes, it just looks like that many YouTubers just highlighting their own value. It is like I have a vineyard and I want to use pesticide chemicals in my business, but I am telling to everyone else that not to use those chemicals on the tomato farm because I want to buy a tomato. I might be wrong, but for me, this is nonsense. Also, a popular opinion that the code is okay because if the person can spend a lot of time and can make the code alone. Yeah, the same with graphics. Do you think it would take weeks or months to build a complex game from zero coding knowledge? No, it's more like years, in plural. Even with Bezier and Claude, I had to spend a lot of time figuring out how to add my own features to the asset I bought at the starting, and I have a coding experience. The same if you want to create a nice graphics, for example. Many people think that the graphics and the music are different because without a certain talent, you have no chance. Well, I was an IT teacher for nearly a decade. I have to say, this is not different in programming. Not everyone can learn it, unfortunately. So I'm not making difference because one is officially an art and another is not. However, I agree with the other YouTubers that generating an image is not art. True. I don't think that we should let images and music compete with human-made ones. True. We can even talk about that. Is the AI images in general stolen? You can say yes, but I would say more inspired. As a real artist inspires other artists. That is how the art is evolving. Long story short, I believe that the representation is the art itself. Not a tiny picture, not a music or a code, but put together everything into a bundle based on your way, with your method. That is art. This represents your vision about the topic. In a TCG game, once you reach a certain level of visual representation, the only important things that remain are the logic, the mechanic, and the balance. So how much fun it is playing with it, that is all. Also, that is the reason I find it strange when fans arguing on which Dune was the best representation. I guess there is no best or worst. These are movie or game representations of the directors, scriptwriters, and designers and the crew. They visualize the books in that way. I visualize Dune on my way. And I'm pretty sure that you guys, when you read the books, you also visualized on your unique own way. If you make a game alone, okay, pretty much alone, that is your representation. If that is good, if it is fun to play with it, who cares about the other things? And if it is a flop, well, it's not because of using LLMs. So that's it from the LLM/AI topic. I wanted to show my perspective. If you want to tell your opinion about this, feel free to comment down below. One more serious question before the last part. Do I have the right to publish the game? No, I do not yet. But still, I decided to start it. Even without it, because this is not just a love project for me, but also an experiment, a way of learning, and a personal journey as well. I believe that in some way, somehow, my invest into this project will pay back. So that is why I decided dream something big. And you know, of course, fear is just the mind killer. I am working on the leveling skills for the characters, the music, and then to create a build for real playtesting. In the second video, in the top right, you will already see that the new UI of the game has been implemented, and more of the gameplay in the emulator and detailed breakdowns of the work behind me. If you are interested in my journey with these projects, don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts down below. That's it in the next video. Bye.